on the big T. Gotta do that more often. Now I'm thinking about putting my other phone on there. I mean, now we can have it in 8K, right? So
Let's do it.
Yes.
What? Is my phone not
Some
going?
of the plans in case somebody wants them.
do you want me to go ahead and share your screen then? Because he said he wasn't gonna have anything. So where'd our Zoom go? That's Zoom. Why can't I find it?
I told you, Mitch, not to overcomplicate it.
Here we go.
Overcomplication's my middle name.
I know, that's the problem. That's why I told you that.
I'm just glad you're here to fix it.
We should have had Bob though.
All right, well, we got a lot of people on. This is good.
Hey, Mike
Awesome.
G, I'm gonna make, Mike G, I'm gonna make you the host.
Okay.
She's printing some more.
It's not gonna let me. Never mind, Mitch is our host, so he'll control it on that end.
That's fine. That works.
And the recording's already be started, so whenever you guys are ready.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. It's Tuesday, November 4th. It is just a fantastic week. The weather has never been nicer. It's November, but it still feels like springtime. I think today will be about 80 degrees. We have we have 3 watch parties going on that we know of, and then all the individual people logging on the Zoom. So I got to tell you, a business plan is probably the single most important thing that you can do for your business. As a real estate agent, you're an entrepreneur, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So thank you for being part of the company. Jessica did such a great job with this training and this business plan last year in Fresno that we wanted to find a way to get her in front of everybody in the company because she does just a really good job with this business planning. And so we've asked her to volunteer her time and to do this for us, and she said yes. So Jessica, thank you for being available. Thank you for being a team player. And I'm going to go ahead. We're sharing the screen. They can see the business plan right in front of us. So again, thank you. If you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your experience in real estate, and then we'll get forward.
All right. Thank you guys for all showing up. It's great to actually have a lot of people in our room here in person today. It's great. I love, and our watch parties. Awesome. I've been in real estate for 8 years. I just finished my 8-year renewal, got my license renewed again. I started out, I'm from Chico, California, which is about 4.5 hours north of here. And I was on a large high producing team and got Rookie of the Year. Just banged out the sales, had an amazing 2 years up there before my husband got a job transfer to Fresno. And here we are. I learned a ton about business planning in my very early career being on that team. And we had wonderful goals and we had lots of accountability and they were measurable. And I'm bringing that information to you guys to help you in your individual businesses. It's very, very important that you know what you're focused on and what you need to do every single day to get to the year that you want to have. Now I am compliance for the company. I have my own transaction coordinating business. I sell on the side some, but I found that my expertise and niche that I really love is helping others and diving into the contracts and helping you guys solve problems. So we are going to jump right into business planning. I don't know if you can unmute yourself if you have a question. Maybe the best thing is just to pop it in the chat or raise your hand or something, and
Yeah.
we'll get some tech help to figure out how to answer you. Okay. Business planning boot camp. This is the first day of 4 days that we're
Yes.
going to be doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Today is the meat and potatoes of how to figure out your numbers and your goal for next year for 2026. And then the next 4 days, we're going to hear from industry leaders and give you some great ideas on how to own your own neighborhood and how to focus your 2026 with actual practical steps to take and
To
Yeah.
boost your
boost your
sales
business
this year.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, moving on to the next page, maybe. Okay, here's our agenda. I just kind of went over that. So today, starting at 10 a.m. right now, we're going to go for, it might not be the full 90 minutes we've allotted. Depends on how many questions you have and how fast we get through stuff. Tomorrow, again, 10 a.m., we're going to hear from a local title rep who's going to talk to us about neighborhoods and finding out who we live near and give us a lot of great ideas. Next week, we're not going to meet on Tuesday. We're going to meet on a Wednesday because Tuesday is Veterans Day and I'm off for work. And during that time, you're going to tell us about what we're going to do next week.
Yes, next week we are going to do with Sabrina. We all have met Sabrina by now. She's going to have some templates set up, some letters that we can use in our own neighborhoods. I believe that Adam will be joining her. And then Thursday, we're going to hear from a couple agents. I know Ryan Johnson out of our office, how he's kind of managed to own his own neighborhood. And then Mike is going to kind of put a wrap on it and just get us feeling good for the next year.
Yeah, so make sure you have your printout of this boot camp. We have some packets here in our office. Hopefully you do in your office, and you've been sent the link so you can go ahead and print that from your home if you're at home watching on Zoom. But there's going to be some worksheets you're going to actually write on and get your plan going, and keep it with you all 4 days because we're going to keep coming back to it and filling in your goal as we learn more about ideas and things that we can do during the year.
Also, Sabrina will send it out to you guys PDF form, and it will be updated because she might put some updated slides, like when Robin comes to
Okay.
visit, we might have slides. So check out the PDF updated version from Sabrina daily as our workshops go through.
All right, let's get started. First of all, we need to find our why. Why are we doing this? Why are we here? What keeps us going every day when times get hard? This isn't something new. We have always been taught to find our why. There's lots of podcasts and ideas and books on this. And in fact, our very own Mike Allen talks about this in the beginning of his book about why. Why are we doing this? And he kind of went through this whole scenario with someone on his staff and helped her find her why. And that's what we're going to do today together. We're going to find your why. So when you know your why, it makes your what you're doing, more impactful and meaningful. Okay, because you can just throw things at the wall and say, oh, today I'll do an open house, or oh, maybe I'll send this mailer out around this house that I have for sale, or just, trying all these different things and nothing's really sticking and you get frustrated, and because you don't actually have a plan of your what you're going to do, which goes back to why you're doing it. Because let's be honest, sometimes when we're doing all the things, it can get frustrating. We can feel defeated that maybe we're not getting the deals we want, or maybe the numbers are not coming in like we wanted them to, and we get frustrated. But if we know our why, we have the compass, we have the map, we can trust that the process of the what we are doing is going to eventually pay off. And we're going to remind ourselves why we are doing it. So, of course, we have to find out why we're doing it. Okay, so this worksheet called Find Your Why has 5 questions here that we're going to take a pause right now from our Zoom, and we are going to answer the questions for ourselves on your paper. Okay, Mitz is going to put up a little countdown for us. I'm going to give you exactly 10 minutes.
Hey, Mitz, are we supposed to look like a strobe light?
No, that's just, I think it's struggling with the internet.
I feel like we got a strobe light going on.
Okay, 10 minutes, guys. And just so that Bob will be annoyed with me, I'm going to complicate it by playing some classical music for you guys.
Yay! So we're finding our why. Does anyone need a packet? Need a packet? No, my mom.
Your Pandora Premium session has ended. The moment might not be for you when you return. Search and play music on demand to access another session or upgrade anytime. There's always, relationship, nothing but a waste of time. I never wanted to hear anybody love it. I was happy saying I love you for you fast. I was the only way I knew before I met you.
Now you guys know what my playlist is, right?
Say I do. Yeah, I do, I do, I do. Cause every time before it's feeling maybe it's really wrong. You little got it, I feel like it's all good. Yeah, I'm giving myself into.
Another song. See what Pandora's got in store for us.
Are
Oh,
we supposed to sing for you?
I usually listen to oh, what is that? It's a movie. You know where they sing a cappella. Pitch Perfect. They have a
Oh.
Pitch Perfect radio station, so it's all a cappella.
Where do they have Pitch Perfect radio station?
On Pandora.
Nice. We like the movie.
2-minute warning. 2 minutes left.
What you guys next me?
'Get your steps in today.
Did we answer where we got the worksheets from? Okay.
I'll put it in there.
Oh, Francie needs help finding her pocket.
I do.
You did great.
I didn't know those questions. So hard.
No, it wasn't. It was natural. I wish I could have said,
So
well, no, I would have liked to see. I know you come in every single day. You know, what I mean, like I was like, wanted to say stuff that I knew about you, but it was good.
I think the alarm's gonna be loud.
Okay, let's
Does Francie need help? Angela
Good job.
says.
Ah,
we stopped it.
there it
Yeah,
goes.
good job.
Okay, now let's that guy.
All right. At least everyone in my office in here was actually writing and taking it seriously. So thank you. Love to see that.
I want to share a why.
Yes, Sandra has someone in our office who has a very important why, and we would like to share that with you all.
Yeah, so I just want to share a why. And if you guys don't know me, I'm Sandra with the Fresno office. I am the sales manager, and I get the privilege to talk with agents on a daily basis. This will kind of, yeah, tears me up because the one thing I do love about managing is individually, you guys come in my office when you're mad or you're sad or all different things. And you guys all touch my heart in different ways. And I know a lot of your whys, and maybe you guys wouldn't share them publicly, but I know a lot of your whys, and I know a lot of my agents know my why. But I wanted to share Irma Sparks, her why today. So her why, the reason Irma gets up and she works so hard every day, because we see that in her. She's here, she's usually the last one here, 9, 10 o'clock at night. I'll drive by and see her car. Her big why is that she never wants to be homeless again. So Irma was homeless at one time. She was a housekeeper before she became a real estate agent. So I know one thing about Irma is she feels privileged that she gets to do this job, and she's happy to do this job. And she's grateful for the money she gets. A matter of fact, sometimes I think she doesn't believe how much money she can make. She's, been an exceptional mom. She owns real estate. She owns her own house. And she came, from all that from being a housekeeper. So she has a strong why. Yeah. So that's a good why to share.
It's a very good why. Yeah, Irma's a top producer too. So she's always here, always winning the awards.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's just one of them. I mean, like I said, I can't share all my agent whys, but it's, I think that part of life is pretty amazing. My why is I have a daughter who has a severe mental health problem, and really she probably will never be able to function on her own. So I pay for her a place to live and help her with her car and help her with her life that she probably will never be able to balance herself. So I feel privileged to sell real estate because I'm able to help her with her life. So that's definitely my why.
Great. Anyone else want to share their why?
Oh, it's quiet.
I can't see the chat if anybody's putting anything up. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think maybe is also for those of you that are struggling. I feel like the Wizard of Oz because I can't turn my camera on. But anybody who's struggling to come up with your why, you can do it the way that Mike explained in his book, which is going 7 levels deep. So you ask yourself, why is real estate important to me? And then you say, whatever that answer is, why is that important to me? And then you keep going and you keep going and you keep going and you ask yourself that 7 times, and you're going to get really close to the answer that we just heard out of Fresno, because when you ask yourself, it's homeless, it's insecurity, it's all of those things that you grew up with, that you struggled with, is why she doesn't want to ever go back to that and why she loves real estate, right? And so if we use Irma as the example, that's the 7 layers deep answer. For the other ones of you that struggle with going 7 layers deep, ask your day about the perfect day. You won the lottery, money's no longer an issue. Where do you live? What does that look like? Who lives with you? What do you do for fun? What employment would you have to do if you still had to work but you weren't forced to? That's your perfect day, big why. And then the last way to do it, or another way to do it, is the paint a purpose. What challenge or struggle have you overcome in life that you never want to go back to again? How does that help you? How does real estate help you prevent that from ever happening? And this makes a connection sometimes in an easier, faster way. But finding your big why and making it strong enough for you to keep moving forward is what will keep you motivated when you don't feel like making the phone calls, when you feel a little bit
Yep.
burnt out. It's something that you can read your why again, and it repurposes you and reprioritizes you, and it gives you the energy when you can't find it within yourself on a normal day. Back to you.
All right. You might have your why, you might need a little more time, and that's fine. You can, work on this on your own as you go through and think about it for a while. I know there's a lot of good podcasts and YouTube videos on helping you figure out why. And there's Simon Sinek has something about asking your friends specific questions. So if you need more help with this, please, ask me, ask Sandra. But this
Yep.
is very, very important first step that we need to take. I know we only spent 10 minutes on it in here today, but do not skip over this part. Okay. And why won't it let me go? There we go. Okay.
Are we missing?
I had her take that one out.
Okay.
Okay, so there are a lot of ways to define success, and everybody can define it differently. But for the purposes of this business planning boot camp, we're going to look at your profit, and we're going to come up with some numbers on how that fits into your why, how that fits into your ideal life, your ideal lifestyle. And I'm going to help you figure out what actually that looks like in percentages and how to get there. Okay, so first thing, we're going to break it down. What we're talking about here today is simply real estate income from sales. We're not talking about if you have rentals and you have passive income. We're not going to be dealing with that today. This is simply your real estate income from the sales, working with buyers or sellers. Okay, so what goes in your income? That's going to be commissions earned from your listings closed, your buyer sides closed, including referrals. If you refer someone out of state and you get a, 25%, 30, 40% now, I'm seeing some referrals come in for, that is included. So that's what's coming in, okay? But it does not include passive income. If you have that going on for you, that's a separate thing. What goes out? There are two elements that go out. There's cost of sales and then there's business expenses. And these are two different things. So number one, cost of sales are the things that only come out of your commission check if the deal closes. Okay, so example of that would be the commissions you pay to your office. So your broker fees, your royalty fees to your company.
Your TC.
Yes, if you use a TC and they're paid at closing, that would come out of there. Any referral fees, if you got a referral from someone, you're paying them a referral fee. Again, that's a cost of sale because it only is paid if that deal closes. Okay, the second part of it is a business expense. So this is office rent. We don't have that here. But it can, if you have a team and you have a staff person that you pay monthly versus with closings, that would be a business expense. Your insurance, any professional services, your MLS dues, marketing and advertising. We're going to talk about that in the coming days of how to farm your neighborhood. So those expenses would be a business expense. Now it's not taken out of every single check because it's already, it's an expense that you have and you're going to allot for that throughout the year. But in order to pay for that, you have to have money coming in. So we are going to take a percentage of those yearly costs and take it out of each commission check, if that makes sense. Okay, so again, whatever is left over is your profit. You have your commission check that comes in, minus your cost of sales, minus your business expenses, and that gives you your profit. So we want to figure out your profit and how you can live off of your profit and what you need to do in order to get to those numbers.
What you want to make.
What you want to make, yes. Okay, so we're going to break it down even further here. So your gross commission income, GCI, might have heard this in real estate lingo, is the amount of income you get based on the sales price of that transaction. But your GCI is not what you actually receive in your commission check. Okay, so when you are getting your, you see, oh, I have my buyer representation agreement for 2.5% of this $400,000 house. Great, I'm going to get a check for $10,000. And then you actually get your check and you're like, wait a minute. That's a lot less than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so your GCI is that 10,000. It's not the check you actually receive. So your GCI, these are numbers on this page are for ease and purpose. I just stuck with simple math because math is not my thing. So we're gonna
You all have your own numbers.
yeah, you're going to have your own number. You're going to have your own split with the company. Not everybody is at 25%. I don't know what everybody's at. That's not part of what I deal with. That's between you and your manager or whatever. So just for general purposes, I'm going to go over this example with this basic breakdown, but you're going to have to do your own math with your own specific contract and numbers. Okay. And if you don't know that, that's a question for your manager. Okay. So you take your GCI times it by 25%, and that goes to your broker. That's your company dollar. Another 8% is paid to the broker for royalty. That leaves you with your net commission check. Okay, so there's our cute little house. It was $400,000. We are in an agreement for 2.5% commission. So that GCI would be 10,000. We're going to times that by that 25%, which is 2,500, goes to the company. The 8% of that $10,000 is the royalty. That means it's $800. And you are left with a check of $6,700. Now, that might be a little less if you used a TC. Their fee would come out of escrow normally. It comes out of escrow. Sometimes you might pay it afterwards, depending on how you have it set up. Okay, so that's the very basic of how to calculate your net commission check. Do we have any questions on that?
Question.
Yes.
The, does this,
Your microphone.
does the 8% come out first though before the 25% broken fee?
Oh, you guys.
I think that's probably
The 8% is off of the 10,000.
up first and then the 25%. No. So
Jessica, they do it differently. It doesn't come off the $10,000.
No, it doesn't come off the 10,000. Hey, Mike, hello, can you help us?
Sure. What is it again? Say it again.
Okay, Lena had a question. So, she wants to know, does the 8% come off the top? Can you explain
Yes,
that?
yes, of course. The 8% comes off the top of the total gross commission. So if the gross commission is 10,000, 8% comes off of that. That's $800. And so our 25%, if we do the 75-25 average, our 25% does not come off the 10,000. Our 25% comes off the lower amount, which in this example would be
Okay.
9,200. So by doing that, the true the true franchise fee that most people end up paying is closer to 6% because we take our 25% from the reduced amount. And by the way, we're the only
Okay.
company in the only Century 21 franchise and all the franchises that we know, we're the only brokerage that does it this way. We take our 25% or our company dollar from the reduced amount, not the total amount. And that
Okay,
really
so
ends up
everybody
saving
right
you more
now,
money.
take a pen and make an edit on your packet so that the 10,000 times 25, it's actually
Reduced from the
90,
top, correct.
9,200 times the 25%.
Correct. Our company dollar comes off the reduced amount. So this one was
Which is
flipped.
2,300.
Yeah, so it'd be
Correct.
2,300 to the company dollar in this example, but
Correct.
the 800 stays the same.
Yeah,
Okay.
and in this example, it would give them back $200 of that franchise fee, for example,
Okay.
because we're not
You
taking it
can
off the
take
top.
your manager to lunch on that.
Yay.
Yes,
And so your net commission would actually be 6,900 in this example. Okay,
Correct.
so make notes on that. And then on the next sheet too, it's going to be a little different. Okay, so we're going to calculate the breakdown of your GCI. This is very basic, simple, but I put it into percentages and then into numbers so that we can understand it. Again, we're going to have to change the numbers because of the company dollar is a little bit less. But you have the income, which was 100%. Then you have expense number 1 is cost of sales. Expense number 2 is the business expense. And you're left with your net income. And then the next little section there is the actual dollars of that. Now, the expenses are an average experts that I did the research on making this thing say that the business expenses are going to be 25% over your whole year. So 25% out of each commission. Now it's up to you if you actually spend more than 25%, or if you can cut your expenses somehow. Maybe you get a lender to help with the cost of sending out flyers to your farm. And that's stuff we can talk about later. But for the general purposes of just finding numbers today, we're going to state that our business expenses are 25% of each check. Okay, it's not hard and fast. Again, it's just for helping us calculate numbers.
Jessica, where's taxes at on which one do you put it in? Cost of sale or business?
I actually didn't really put taxes in here because that's a huge other class that I know nothing about.
10% of
Yeah, okay. So yeah.
Ashley's suggesting that we do 10% is what she does of every
in
check
a separate account.
in a separate account.
Do you take that off of after you have calculated your business expense or the check you actually get?
Check I get.
The
Okay.
check you get, you save 10% for
I get a
taxes.
$6,000 check, $600 goes into mine.
Okay. So her example was if her commission check is $6,000, she takes 10%, $600, and puts it into a tax savings account that she has in her own business account. Okay.
I put $1,000 and then I immediately 2 weeks later withdraw it.
It's the profit count.
Yeah.
But I thought about it.
Thought about the tax count.
At least we're honest here.
Yes. No secrets here.
Okay, so for the purpose of what we're doing this for, we want to lead with our profit. Okay, we understand that money has to come out of that GCI amount, and we're going to be left with our profit, and we want to live off of our profit. So we're going to figure out the numbers to figure out how many houses we have to close in order to get the profit that we want. Okay, so we have our income minus our expenses equals profit, but we're going to flip that around and we're going to see, this is the profit that I want to make. What is my goal? Okay, now the expenses, how can I minimize these expenses, or how do I calculate them in to run my business the way I want it to go? And then from that number, we're going to find out how many homes I have to sell in order to live my best life. Okay, so now we have an example here. Again, this is subject to, this is the easy math. This is subject to going to be different for whatever your split is. But we're going to start with, let's say I want to make $100,000 in profit this year, not in my gross commission income, in my profit. So my business expenses are 25%. My cost of sales is 30%. So I'm going to add $25,000 for my business expenses to that $100,000 I want to make. And then I'm going to add another $30,000 for the cost of sales to that $100,000 that I want to make, for a total of $155,000 in GCI. Okay, that's what I have to make in order to get a profit of $100,000. Now I'm going to divide that by the average commission amount. Okay, so I just threw that the average commission amount is $400,000, average sales price. You can actually do the exact numbers, figure out what your area, what the average sales price is for that to get that number. That's at a 2.5% commission. So it's $10,000 is the average commission amount. And I'm going to divide that 155 by 10,000. And it's going to tell me that I need to sell 15.5 homes in order to profit $100,000. Now can't sell half a home. So we're going to round up to make it 16. And then you can decide how you want to split that. Do you want to do 8 listings and 8 buyers? Do you want to focus more on listings? That is completely up to you and how you want to run your business and what goals you have. But for ease, I just made them half.
Right.
8 listings, 8 buyers. Okay, so our next page is a blank one for you to go ahead and fill in. This is personal. This is how much profit you want to make. And you can go ahead and do that math for the business expense and cost of sales. If you think that your business expenses are less, then go ahead and take less out. If you think they're going to be more because you have some big plans, that's great. Go ahead and change that number. Okay, so I'm going to give you like 5 minutes.
And hopefully you're going to be thinking a little ahead about marketing to your own neighborhood. You're something new that you're going to do this year. So hopefully we're all going to, set a goal and at least sell 1 or 2 in our own neighborhood for the first year. And that should be able to increase if we do all the things that we have planned for you.
Good. All right, I'm gonna give you like 1 more minute. All right. Hopefully you have figured out the number of homes that you need to sell in 2026 to get the profit amount that you want. We can refine this and fine tune it better for you individually if you need help with it, one-on-one.
Is anyone willing to share how many homes they have to sell? 23. That's a Irma, 23. Anybody
What did
want
you
to?
say, Susan?
39,
Wow.
Susan. Woo! Okay, that's great. Anybody else want to share? Emily? 13. So we have a new agent, Emily, and she's going for 13.
It's a great goal.
That's my lucky number. Yay. That's a great goal here for sure.
Okay, now we got to figure out how we're going to get those numbers. So the next page in your packet is called C21 Gold. Play on the word gold. It's our goals to become gold.
Oh,
Yay, gold. All right. So at the very top of the goal, you're going to write that number in there. Whatever your number of units sold is right there on the gold. This worksheet is something we're going to work on throughout the 4 days. Where basically you concentrate on the most and very important things that you want to do throughout the year to get you to that goal. It's very, very easy to start this and do a little bit of that and jump around and get all mixed up and nothing sticks with it and you end up doing nothing because you're not focused. So we're going to pick 3 priorities only for you to get to your goal. Okay, so the first one, since we're doing this whole workshop on farming your neighborhood, owning your neighborhood, your priority one is going to be own your neighborhood. Okay, so it's going to be for everybody. So write that on priority one. As we move through these 4 days, you can pick your own priority 2 and priority 3, depending on how you want to run your business and the things that speak to you and are comfortable for you. This is very specific to your own business, and we want to help you figure that out, which can be done through these next 4 days and for, one-on-one meetings if we need. But our strategies are going to break down each priority. So the first strategy on the neighborhood, owning your neighborhood, could be you're going to send out CMAs once a quarter. You would write that on your first strategy. Or maybe you're going to do mailers about I'm your neighborhood realtor, and you're going to do that twice a year. That's going to be another strategy.
Or you're going to start a YouTube channel
Yes.
just about your neighborhood.
Yes.
But you might want to wait to do
Yeah.
all
So we
the,
are not going to fill in all of these strategies right now. I just want to give you an overview of how this page works. Because as we move through this boot camp, you're going to have some great ideas that speak to you, and you're going to write those into the strategies. Okay. And these are just going to be the 3 things that you do this year. Okay. So we want to make it simple to where you are focused. We're going to help you figure out how to do it each month, well, quarterly for, CMAs. But then you have to plan how you're going to budget your time in order to get those done and out on time. So that brings us to the next page, which again, we'll work on throughout these 4 days and later one-on-one. We have a monthly plan of the things you're going to do. You're going to take those strategies and you're going to pop them into your monthly plan, and you're going to pop them into your weekly plan from there. And that will set your day up on what you need to do every single day to get to your 2026 goal. Okay. And we will go more in depth in this as we move on with the boot camp. Do we have any questions about those 2 pages?
I have a comment. I think this is amazing that you guys are doing this, because as a new agent and when you're growing your.
We're handing her the microphone. Hang on.
I'm sure everybody can hear me because I have a loud voice. Hey, Bakersfield. I just wanted to say that it's wonderful that you guys are doing this. A lot of companies do not do this at this level where you're breaking this down like this. When you're a new agent, or even, you're building your business, it's hard to wrap your head around how to do this and how important goals are. Trust me, because and then, you listen to this and listen to that, and everybody has their own concept on it. So you guys are very lucky that, that you guys care enough, this company cares enough to, do this boot camp.
Thanks, Lena.
Yeah, they can do it.
Okay, Mitch just changed it so where if you have a comment or a question, you can unmute yourself and let us all hear about it.
does that mean Michael too? We have him muted, huh?
I don't think we
I'm finally unmuted. What do you got?
We're just opening it up if anybody has comments or questions about the goal setting. Okay, and then for our last page for today is things that I want you guys to start thinking about in your own neighborhood. So again, this is called Owning Your Neighborhood Boot Camp, and you might not know anything about your neighborhood, or you might already be an expert. So this next page is Where Am I? It's a little quiz for you to figure out where you are in your farm. Now, ideally, your farm is the neighborhood where you live directly. Like I have a complete block. We live in Lennars that were finished being built in 2020, I think were the last ones. And I know the first one, there are 370 homes in my neighborhood because I just had title pull all the tax records for me. So I'm going to I'm going to do this along with you for 2026. And I don't know the rest of these questions. So I have some homework to do as well as you guys. If you don't have a neighborhood like mine, or maybe it is already owned by someone else and you don't feel like competing, you can choose a different area in town, in your town, and whatever you're drawn to. It doesn't have to be where you live, but it might be a little bit easier if it is. What do you want to add about that?
I just want to say, don't be afraid. If there's another real
Okay.
estate agent in your neighborhood, do not be afraid of that whatsoever. There are very few agents that own their own neighborhood. And if you live there, you're an expert, right? So don't worry. I have another manager from Realty Concepts who lives 4 doors down from me. So you know what? You can't be afraid. No, I don't send postcards to his house, but yeah. You just can't, you can't be afraid. So don't be afraid of marketing to a neighborhood, just because you think, oh, there's a lot of agents who live here.
What was the question?
Chat.
We have a
But
chat.
There's 10 agents that live in your neighborhood.
Well, how many homes are there? If there's, 1,500 homes, eliminate the agents that live out of your neighborhood. And tomorrow we're going to really talk about finding the turnover rate. So maybe if the turnover rate isn't good in your neighborhood, then maybe you do want to go to, a different neighborhood because the turnover rate isn't good. But something
Can you explain a turnover rate for new people? What
I
does that
will.
mean?
So I don't know how to exactly calculate it. Maybe
Okay.
Michael can help with that, but you take all the solds and divide them by how many houses are in that area, and then you're going to get some kind of rate, like 1 to 10, I believe the title companies will tell you, and the title companies will help you with the turnover rate. They can tell you what the rate is. Michael, can you help me a little on that?
Put you on the spot.
Yes, so the turnover rate, it really changes by neighborhood to neighborhood. Again, just like you were saying, some neighborhoods will end up selling quicker. It's something information that we get through our title companies because they have the predictive analytics. There are other companies out there that do it. For example, we have something similar through our Flex MLS. But more importantly, when you're ready to do it and you pick out any neighborhood you want to farm, whether it's
Right.
yours or another one, your title rep will provide you that information. They'll do a walk-in farm. They'll look at how many are selling, how long are people living in that neighborhood. The average nationwide used to be 7 years. Now it's closer to 11. But some neighborhoods turn over after 5 or 6 years, and some might take 10 years. So again, it's neighborhood specific, and the information we get for free from our title reps.
And when Robin's here tomorrow, she's going to hit on that. So she'll know a little bit better and you can find out your turnover rate. But one thing I learned about that, a mistake, because I moved to a neighborhood and it didn't have a very good turnover rate because I checked with title and I thought, oh, well, I don't want to really send anything out here. Nobody's selling. Well, then we've lived there 4 years now. And all of a sudden, here's the sign, here's this sign, here's this sign. And I should have put that effort out 4 years ago and it would be paying off for me now. I really kind of messed that up. So I feel like you can't always go off of a turnover rate, because eventually
They will start selling.
Yeah, eventually it's going to turn.
Yeah. Okay, I think we have one more for today. Oh, homework. So this homework says they want you to reach out to a title rep,
Which
keep
we'll
a
have one here
contact
tomorrow.
list. Okay.
Yes.
So you can either wait for tomorrow, or if you have your own trusted title company that you love and trust, go ahead and reach out to them with the parameters of your neighborhood that you want to farm and start getting that contact information. Well, it's not actual contact information, it's just address.
I would say farming, it's really what you can afford and what you want to put into it, because I used to farm Harlan Ranch. A lot of you guys know I've sold a little bit in Harlan Ranch and lived in Harlan Ranch. It's 1,500 homes.
That's a lot.
And so everything I did was more than $1,500. So a lot of times I couldn't keep up with the marketing that I wanted to market because I bit off more than I could chew. So you might want to start with 50 homes, and then you could do what Ryan Johnson does. You could write a handwritten note to somebody and send a $5 gift card to Starbucks once a month for the neighbor that, you know, brought in your trash cans. Or so you might want to start a little bit smaller than trying to bite off 1,500
Yeah.
homes.
Even in my neighborhood,
one
which is
time.
370, I have zones. So I'm organizing it into zones, which were kind of how it ended up being built, like the sections of the neighborhood as they were built. It like translates easily to zones. So I'm starting in my zone first, and that's got like 101 homes in it. And I'm starting there and going from there, and then I'll move on to zone 2.
Yeah. So where builders call it a phase 1 or a phase 2, you just make it a zone.
Yeah, perfect.
And then one of the things for, like Sandra was talking, 1,500 houses is a lot to market to, but what we'll learn tomorrow, so please come in tomorrow when we have a title rep here, is that through some of their technology, what Sandra could do is she can input that that 1,500 homes into that, and the predictive analytics will say out of these 1,500, here's the top 300 that might sell in the next year, or here's the top 100 that might sell in the next 90 days. And so now what you're doing is you're focusing your dollars on a smaller group or a smaller phase or a zone that's most likely to sell. Now, that's just algorithms and that just predictive guessing, if you will, using technology and algorithms and how the houses are selling. That doesn't mean that one of the other 1,200 might sell and you might miss it, right? So that's always a chance, but you can just be smarter with your money. Although I will say I really like Jessica's idea of turning it into phases or zones, because that's how they're built.
Yeah.
And then into the chat, if you guys will go in there, Tom Collins out of our Visalia office wrote a really simple letter. He lives in a Bonadeli, a neighborhood here in Visalia. And so he wrote this letter just for his neighborhood. I put it into the chat so you guys can get an idea. You guys can take that one, copy it, and make it your own for your neighborhood. And it's just a way to have a open, warm communication with your neighbors. Oftentimes we second guess what we're trying to do and we get stuck analyzing. Just do it. Just get out of your own way and just do it.
Ooh, that's really great. Thank you for sharing that with us.
You bet.
Email it.
We'll have Sabrina email that out to us. How's that?
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, anybody else have any comments or questions? Otherwise, that ends our first day of Business Planning Bootcamp.
Again, everybody,
Woo! It was good.
yes, did a great job. Now here's the magic to it is there's homework now, everybody. We're
Yep.
bringing you the pieces, but you guys are in business for yourselves, not by yourselves. So please finish the homework. Please be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. We have a title rep donating their time and volunteering to bring you some great information and technology. Sandra, Jessica, thank you for doing this for us today. If you only do what we did today and you don't come back, you're missing out on a whole bunch of good information. So please come back.
Yep. You need the plan. Finish the plan.
Yes.
You guys are going to have a great year next year. I know it. Thank you for showing up. We got a full audience here
Yeah,
in Fresno.
it's amazing.
So, yeah.
Thank you all for coming.
Yes. Yay. All right.
Thank you, everybody.